In this video, I will try to give you an insight related to an essay called The Schema of Mass Culture by Theodor Adorno. Before moving on, I would like to add one thing, and that is please excuse my pronunciation. I will do my best to pronounce the word correctly, but despite my endeavor, you may feel that some words are not understandable and some are vague. And in that scenario, please try to refer the text which I have used for this video. Now, let's begin the video. Theodor Adorno's essay, The Schema of Mass Culture, it explores the characteristics and effects of mass culture. Now, what is mass culture in a very simple words? Mass means we all know people, collective people, or crowd. Culture means culture. That culture means thing which a thing or a particular thing which is observed, celebrated, practiced by more than one people. That will be a part of culture. And when we say mass culture, mass means lots of people, many people. When more than one people are, or when a more than one people is observing, practicing an activity, so that will be a mass culture. Now, through this video, we will try to know how mass culture works, who manufactures it, who manipulate it, what is the primary objective behind mass culture. These all kinds of things I will try to explain through this video with my own perspective. If you are studying this essay for your exam, then you should not treat this video as your primary source. You can treat it as your secondary source, but you must not treat it as your primary source. You must read this text or this essay line by line, word by word, and sentence by sentence. Do not believe blindly whatever I will say. That should not be the quality of an educated as well as inquisitive mind or rational mind. Therefore, you must not believe blindly. You must ask questions, you must argue, you must debate, you must have your own opinion, your own perspective, your own comment. That's all. Now let's try to read the paragraph first and then try to know what it means. Theodor Adorno's essay, The Schema of Mass Culture, it explores the characteristics and effects of mass culture. Adorno, a critical theorist associated with the Frankfurt School, is known for his critique of mass-produced culture and its impact on society. In this essay, he has examined how mass culture operates as a form of social control and manipulation, shaping people's desires and identities. So in this essay, the writer has tried to argue that through mass culture in a particular society, it always tries to control the psychology or the psyche of the society in various contexts. It can also manipulate, and through its manipulation, it can shape people's desires and identities. Let me give you an example. A new Bollywood movie has come out, right? But you are not interested and you have not heard about it. But people are talking about that movie so much, extensively, day and night. Wherever you will go, you hear about it. Wherever you want to, whenever you want to discuss a thing, people bring up that topic that, okay, this movie has been released. Are you interested about that movie, or would you like to go to watch that movie? Everywhere you will go, people are talking about that movie. That means that through that movie, this mass culture has born. And when mass culture will born, then it will also try to impose on you. Though you don't like, though you don't want to, though you don't have money, still, despite your reluctance, you are obliged to watch that movie owing to mass culture or owing to social ostracization, or what you can say, or social exclusion. So, in the fear of missing out from your peers or from your societal norms or value, you will try to watch that movie. So that circumstance can be considered as an example of mass culture in a very simple language. Through mass culture, people's desires, people's dream, people's thinking, people's identities are challenged, and these all things are often transformed. Adorno has argued that mass culture promotes conformity and superficiality, leading to a loss of individuality and critical thinking. So the author is saying whenever these kinds of mass culture will come out, then what will happen? Then it will bring conformity. Conformity means homogeneity, sameness. Since all people are watching the same thing, listening the same thing, doing the same thing, practicing the same thing, then there will be no room for uniqueness or difference. If you digress from the mainstream, then people will judge you, right? And this can be seen in various contexts also, in your political context, cultural context, social context, educational context. It will go on and on. So the writer is arguing through this mass culture, we can see how conformity grows. And he has also said that superficiality, this is also the consequence or the product of mass culture. When same culture, same idea, same activity, same thinking will prevail, then what will happen? Then superficiality will come, since all people are following it. So it will lead to what? To a loss of individuality. So in that case, your personality, your individuality, it will be lost. You cannot think about someone's uniqueness or your individuality, what you can do differently. That thing will be lost. People will ignore it. And that will also cause to lose the critical thinking. You cannot think critically. If you do, then people will not accept you. They won't embrace you. They will discard you. So in the fear of that, you may lose the critical thinking, right? So he has also discusses the role of the cultural industry in perpetuating these conditions, and cultural industry has immense effect in this kind of product, in this kind of scenario, highlighting the commercial interests that drive mass cultural production. And if you analyze deeply, then you will get to know, after every cultural production or mass cultural production, you will see there is a hidden agenda of commercial interest, whether you will accept it or not. But you will see there is a hidden agenda, hidden interest. I can give you one example. Whenever you will turn the TV on, then you will see number of ads, advertisements. Most of them are useless for you, right? But still, you are obligated to watch those advertisements. You have no other options. You can change the channel. That is different thing, but you have to watch in every channel. There is no other option left. The same thing you can see in social media, such as YouTube. If you want to watch a video, then if you are not a paid user, then what will happen? Then one after another advertisement will come. So that those things are needed to survive in YouTube. But after every YouTube advertisement, you will see there is a hidden commercial interest, and that is a part of mass culture. Though you don't like, though you don't want to buy, it will definitely have impact on your psyche, whether you buy it or not. So that's how mass culture is built. Overall, Adorno's essay offers a critical perspective on the cultural landscape of modern society, emphasizing the need for a more authentic and emancipatory culture. Adorno's essay, The Schema of Mass Culture, it talks about how mass-produced culture, like popular music and movies, influences society. So these are the examples of mass culture. You must have seen Hollywood movies, Bollywood movies, various kinds of movies which are quite popular, and those movies are popular for a reason, right? Those movies are popular because the hidden agenda is something else. It is market driven, or the content or the contents that are instilled in those movies are for common people. Common people will love it, and that's why same theme will be repeated. And in that way, so one genre of movie, one genre of uh, music, one genre of novels, books. So this thing will reiterated again and again, and it will also influence the society. It will impact in their thinking, in their lifestyle, in their uh, way of life, in their dream, in their desire. It goes on and on. He argues that this type of culture makes people think and act in similar ways, limiting their individuality and ability to think critically. Adorno believes that mass culture is controlled by industries that care more about making money than creating meaningful art. He suggests that we need more genuine and thought provoking cultural expressions. That is true. Let's say uh, one genre of filmmaking is very dominant in a movie industry and people are liking it immensely, then what will happen? Same genre of movies will dominate the world, right? All people will love the same thing, and in that scenario, the budding or emerging filmmakers will not think critically. They will also copy the same thing, and they will also manufacture the same genre movie. In that way, a society will be harmed. It will be impacted negatively. The new ideas, the new thinking, the new perspective will not evolve. In that way, mass culture uh, is not a good thing for our society. And the most of the mass culture, these all things are influenced by money making industries. If there is no money, then people will not invest money, and in that way mass culture will not grow. That is also one perspective. For example, think about how many people listen to the same popular songs on the radio or watch the same blockbuster movies. So you must have seen that if you have a radio, then same popular song will be repeated numerous times. It will be repeated numerous times, right, in radio. And if you watch TV, television in our Indian context, then you will see that same Bollywood blockbuster movies are repeated day in and day out. That is the reality. So this is an instance of mass culture. How? Adorno would say that these forms of mass culture shape our taste and preferences. So without your liking, you have been watching that movie. You have no other option. So though you don't like, since you have been watching, then what will happen? Those scenes, those episodes, those anecdotes related to the movies will affect your brain, affect your psychology, making us like what everyone else likes. So we will think that okay, these kind of movies are liked by all people, so I have no other option. Since I have been watching it 50 times, I am bound to love it. So you love it. It also happens. This can lead to a kind of cultural sameness where individuality is lost and we consume things just because they are popular. So it happens. I have already mentioned an example related to it. Just because a movie, a song, a book, or any trend is popular in any area, people are interested to do that or experience that or to witness it. People do it. So this is the consequence of mass culture, not because we genuinely enjoy them or find them meaningful. So though we don't like, though it is insignificant, but still, due to mass cultural activities, mass cultural impact, we are bound to witness or experience those things. So this is the power of mass culture. Moving on. Adorno's essay, The Schema of Mass Culture, it presents several main arguments about the nature and effects of mass-produced culture. Here are some of the key arguments along with examples. Number one is standardization and conformity. Adorno argues that mass culture standardizes artistic expression, leading to conformity and homogeneity. For example, popular music often follows predictable patterns and formulas to appeal to the widest audience possible, resulting in songs that sound similar and lack originality. So this trend we must have seen in our Indian context. If you are from India and if you love Bollywood songs, then you songs and movies both thing. Then you have seen that of late this thing is visible: standardization and conformity. So uh, all songs are liked by many people due to their originality, due to their meaningful lyrics and uniqueness. That is true. Now, in many new songs, you must have seen that old style, that old tune, that old lyrics are appeared or repeated or mentioned. Why? Because they think that if they use it, then people will love it, and people are loving it also. So, in that way, mass culture will never uh, lead a society to a new creation or to a new thinking. It will be stagnant, and it will repeat the same thing constantly. You must have seen various Hindi popular music from Bollywood movies are remixed, and those songs are what you call it are done. Those music are created again and again through patchworks, right? So it will create standardization and conformity according to Adorno. I'm just giving you an example. Adorno has not said it, but his argument was this. Next thing is loss of individuality. Adorno suggests that mass culture discourages individual thought and expression. For instance, reality TV shows often promote stereotypes and encourage participants to conform to certain roles, stifling their unique personalities. So this is a true phenomena, right? Why I'm saying, in reality TV shows, you must have seen that there are some stereotypes like, okay, dance uh, reality show, singing reality show. So same thing will repeat again and again, and in that reality shows too, they are repeating the same pattern. In that way, there will be no individuality. You cannot create new thing, and there is also no room for other areas. For example, let's say there is no uh, reality show for, let's say, poem writing. I'm just giving you an example, right? So that has happened due to the mass culture. It will not bring any kind of uh, individuality. Next thing is manipulation and control. Adorno contends that mass culture is used as a tool for social control and manipulation by those in power. One example of this is the use of advertising in mass media, which shapes consumer desires and behaviors to benefit corporations. That is true. So whenever a mass culture will be emboldened, then what will happen? The forces behind the mass culture, they will try to manipulate. They will try to exert control. They will try to do whatever they like in order to sell their mass culture. This can be applied in various contexts also. And they will also use various means and methods to shape the desires and behaviors of consumer to benefit the corporations. Moving on, commodification of art. This is a very general concept. You must have heard that, okay, nowadays women are objectified. Nowadays music has no melody, no meaningful lyrics. This kind of thing you must have heard. So it means commodification of art. Adorno discusses how mass culture turns art into a commodity where artistic value is determined by market forces rather than intrinsic merit. For example, blockbuster movies are often designed to maximize profits rather than artistic integrity. So it happens. Okay, let's say it happens in various contexts, but I'm just giving you one example, and that is, let's say there is an actor and he always plays the role of villain or the negative character. Why? Because the last movie he acted that did very well, and that movie was blockbuster, and in every project he takes, you will see that his role is always villain or negative character. It happens, and that has happened owing to the mass culture and commodification of art, because people are liking it. If he becomes hero or the protagonist of the film, people may not like him. So in order to not deviate from that mainstream movie or mass culture, so same thing will repeat again and again. In that way, the true artistic potential will not come out, and commodification of art will be done. Next thing is alienation and distraction. Adorno suggests that mass culture contributes to alienation and distraction, preventing people from critically engaging with the world around them. An example of this is the proliferation of mindless entertainment that offers temporary escape but does not encourage deeper reflection. It happens, you must know, so I will not explain it. Next is pseudo-individuality. Adorno argues that mass culture creates a sense of pseudo-individuality where people believe they are expressing their unique identities through consumer choices but are actually conforming to pre-established norms. For instance, fashion trends promoted by celebrities or influencers may create the illusion of individuality, but in reality, many people end up dressing similarly to fit in. So it happens. You must have seen that there are various kinds of celebrities from different field. Those celebrity will advertise for various products, but they may not use it. They may not know the real value of it, right? Whether it is positive or negative, they don't know, but they are saying that okay, we use it, you should use it too. They say like that. So if they say like that, then what will happen? Pseudo individuality will come. Since just like you, many people, millions of people follow him or her or that celebrity, then many people will buy it. And if many people will buy it, their individuality will be lost. So that will become pseudo individuality. It happens. Okay. Next thing is aesthetic regression. Adorno suggests that mass culture promotes an aesthetic regression where artistic standards are lowered to appeal to the lowest common denominator. This can be seen in the simplification of language, themes, and narratives in mass-produced literature and film, which prioritize accessibility over complexity. So it happens. You must have seen that in various web series nowadays, in the Indian context, various web series are made, and in those web series, unrefined or non-standardized Hindi language is used, and sometimes very what do you call it, slang words are used in the movies or in the web series, right? In that way, since they think that okay, people will like it, people have been liking it, people are embracing it, this is the mass culture, then what will happen? They will repeat the same thing, and it will grow more and more. In that way, the aesthetic value will be lost, and aesthetic regression will occur. Okay, this is very true in various contexts. In every context, you can see it. I have just given you one example related to movie or web series, but it can be seen in any field, literature, you can say politics, economics, wherever you will go, these things are reiterated. Next thing is cultural industry. Adorno introduces the concept of the cultural industry, which refers to the industrialization and commercialization of culture. He argues that the culture industry produces standardized cultural products that are designed to be easily consumable and profitable. For example, the music industry often focusing on producing catchy, formulaic songs that can be marketed to a wide audience. So it happens. Nowadays, or not only nowadays. This has always been there, right? If a particular song's lyric is not catchy, then we often see that people ignore it. So in order to garner the attention of the listener, music listener, or whatever one who loves music, then what happened? Then the music producer will try to produce catchy and formulaic songs that can be marketed to a wide audience for the sake of mass culture. And false needs, this is another element of mass culture. Adorno suggests that mass culture creates false needs by manufacturing desires for products and experiences that are not essential for human flourishing. This can be seen in the advertising industry, which often creates artificial desires for products through persuasive messaging and imagery. It happens. It has been going on. In today's world, it has been increasing, right? False needs. Let's say you have gone to a shopping mall, you have seen millions of products, you don't want to buy any of it, right? But those things are instilled inside your brain through various ways: social media, TV, then hoarding, poster, radio, TV, various ways, right? So whenever you will go to a shopping mall, though you don't like, though you don't want to buy, though you don't have money, still you will feel that okay, this thing is required for me. And that thing is done by the mass culture through false needs. So it creates false needs in order to maintain the mass culture through advertising industry. It increases day by day. It will increase. It has been increasing. It had increased. Okay. Next thing is repression of authentic art. This is very simple. You must know. Homogenization of taste, right? This is very simple. Means all people will have same taste, right? Okay, let's say you want to watch a movie, right? And you have purchased a subscription for it. Let's say there is a streaming platform. I will not name it. Whatever you want to choose, just choose it. Then what will happen? You want to watch something very different movie, but there is no movie genre that you want to watch. All movies are popular, all movies are contemporary, all movies that are the part of mass culture, those are available in that movie streaming platform or app. Then that is the example of homogenization of taste. Though you don't like, if you want to watch a movie, you have no other option. What people are liking, you have to watch it. Example, homogenization of taste. Next thing is cultural hegemony. This you all know. Cultural hegemony. Hip hop. You must have listened to hip hop music like rap song. So hip hop was actually it was born in America, but after 90s it came to India also. Though in there are very few, and hip hop culture is flourishing, but not uh, exponentially. Many people in music industry of India, they are producing hip hop music. They don't, whether people are liking it or not, but they are influenced by the cultural hegemony of America. Because whenever they want to listen to American music, they will get hip hop or rap song. So they have no other option but to accept that cultural hegemony. And the same thing will be applied in the context of various other music industry also. Let's say Nepalese music, let's say Assamese music industry, where this hip hop culture is growing. Why? Due to cultural hegemony. Though you don't like it, still, though you don't like, though you don't want to listen to, but those who have listened to it, those who are familiar to it, they are making it due to cultural hegemony. And now you have to listen if it will be a part of mass culture, though you don't like it. Then one another remarkable part is commodification of leisure. Commodification of leisure. It means according to Adorno, he has critiqued how mass culture turns leisure activities into commodities, where entertainment becomes a product to be consumed rather than an enriching or meaningful experience. For example, theme parks and tourist attractions may offer superficial experiences that prioritize spectacle over substance. So it happens, right? You all know. I will not explain it. Then standardized cultural icons. Adorno discusses how mass culture often promotes standardized cultural icons such as celebrities or fictional characters that serve as easily recognizable symbols of status or identity. For example, the widespread popularity of certain movie franchises can lead to the commodification of characters and narratives, reducing them to marketable products. So it happens, right? If a movie becomes hit, then what will happen? Then the same movies will be repeated again and again, right? There are various movies. Let's say Fast and Furious 1, 2, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It has been going on. So if we look at it deeply, then we will get to know that each and every character of those movies are now have been upgraded into a marketable products. They have no other option but to come out again and again in the same form to appease the mass culture. Then it will also bring cultural imperialism. You all know what is cultural imperialism. Let's say BBC. BBC is a part of cultural imperialism. When BBC was created, at that time, the few news agency was available. So it has dominated all over the world, right? So that is also a part of cultural imperialism and mass culture. Though you don't like, you have to watch, you have to listen. So it will go on and on. Most of the things are same. I have told you all the necessary things. I hope it will help you. That's all. Uh, Thank you so much for watching this video. I have just tried to present an overview related to the schema of mass culture. You have to read the text. I have not quoted line by line, word by word, sentence by sentence, but I have just tried to present the argument presented by Theodor Adorno. Okay, in my way, in a very simplified language. It may not be up to the standard, so you have to do your own verification. Okay, thank you so much.